Welcome to this week's episode of Coffee with a Journalist, brought to you by One Pitch. The guests on our show include some of the most notable journalists from the top US-based publications who cover topics including technology, lifestyle and culture, health, science, consumer products, business news, and beauty and wellness. We discuss their role, the types of stories they cover, what their inbox looks like, and how they connect with sources. Head to onepitch.co and look for the video page to learn more about our new video series featuring journalists from the show. This week on the podcast, we're talking with Mia Maguire, commerce editor at the Daily Beast Scouted. She covers new products, product comparisons, deals, and how-tos. During the episode, Mia shares her pet peeves about pitching, how she's connecting online and offline with sources, when it's appropriate to follow up with her, and more. Let's hear from Mia now.
Welcome, everyone. This is Coffee with a Journalist made by One Pitch. I'm Beck Bamberger. I'm the founder of BAM, an agency that works with all venture-backed startups doing crazy stuff, good stuff in the world, good, underline, double underline. And then also One Pitch, which I created with my team here because publicists definitely need to know how better to approach our journalist friends and know what they want and what they don't want, frankly. Hence this podcast coming to you live. And Miss Mia Maguire, what a great name, Mia, is with us today. She's a commerce editor of the Daily Beast. So we're going to talk about what that means as the commerce editor, but also cover what the Daily Beast is. Welcome, Mia, coming from in Austin.
Yes, Austin,
Texas, on a lovely sunny day there. Okay. Mia, first, why don't we just start, for those who are not familiar, with the Daily Beast, and then we'll go into your role. So how do you describe the Daily Beast in a nutshell for all publicists listening?
So the Daily Beast is kind of like, I think it was officially described as a, quote, high-end tabloid, unquote,
I love it.
by the founders. It was started back in 2008, so it's a relatively new outlet, and we cover a lot of politics, innovation, technology. I mean, I just saw one of our reporters on Russia commenting on MSNBC.
There you go.
So we have a ton of great political news reporting. And, you know, we're definitely not afraid to confront bigots, people kind of messing things up. Yeah, so that's kind of a little background.
Excellent. Yeah, quite a handful of different verticals you can get into. So speaking of that, for you, Mia, specifically as the commerce editor, tell us a little bit more about that role and what you're looking for pitch-wise, because I want to make sure people understand what it all entails.
Sure. So I'll just start by talking a little bit about my vertical on the Daily.
Sure.
So it is called Scouted. It started up in 2018. So basically, it's kind of a service journalism vertical. It's commerce pieces, meaning we are trying to help our readers discover new products. You know, we do product comparisons. Which one should you buy? Is this worth your money? Is it not? We like to help people find things that basically they couldn't have or wouldn't have discovered on their own with just a basic Google search. So we kind of scour the web and try to find great deals, great value, and just great products that, you know, people might want to buy. And then also just, we love to do how-tos, you know, like compare and contrasting different products. But most of the content is shoppable, so to speak. So again, I think that most publicists now are familiar with affiliate links and marketing. So that's kind of the revenue driver and the crux of our business. Our goals are centered around, you know, making money, and that comes from people clicking through our articles on Scouted and hopefully making a purchase, and we get like an extremely small commission, but it all adds up.
Exactly. First off, how fun must your job be? You're getting all this stuff all the time. Okay, how do you manage the deluge, I'm assuming, of the products that must come to you? Did you have to cut off your UPS guy or something, or what's up?
I'm not going to lie, it's a lot. It's, you know, I definitely had to kind of narrow it down because now that we're not going into an office, most people are hybrid now, but I'm fully remote. You know, we used to have storage space in the office to put that, and now it's just all in my home. And prior to moving to Austin, I had like a 300 square foot studio apartment. So as you can imagine, you know, and of course it also, my neighbors probably just think I'm the biggest like shopaholic. I am always telling the FedEx guy, I swear I don't have a shopping problem. This is actually for my job.
This is my job.
Well, I don't judge.
Oh, that's funny.
So yeah, I mean, look, I can't complain. It's pretty awesome. It's a great perk to get to try all these products and to also get to share them with my friends and my family and kind of, you know.
I would imagine you don't even need to do like Christmas shopping because you're just like, let me just bunch up these 10 samples here and drop them in a stocking, perhaps. At least I'm thinking that's what I would do.
That's what I do. And you know, everyone knows that I do it. So it, you know, it's
a no.
Yeah. But you know, I also like to see how they like the products. That helps my writing to, you know, get other people's, you know, experience with different things.
Mm-hmm. So for you, Mia, what does a good pitch look like?
Yes. So a good pitch, well, let me just tell you what I don't like. You might have already been getting to this, but what I hate the most is when publicists ask, what are you working on? And they don't tell me about their brands. They just expect, or perhaps it just seems like they expect me to just go through my entire editorial calendar and send them a list. And I like don't have time to do that.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, that's just kind of like the bare bones. And
it's kind of lazy.
Yeah.
Don't you find that lazy?
Yeah. And I think they mean well. Like, I think they come at it as, you know, how can I help you? But it's actually just not helpful at all because I just don't know what to tell them. It's like, who are your clients? Like, you know, there needs to be some sort of two-way street to work with a publicist.
Is it better to say, hey, Mia, here's 8 clients I have. Maybe there's a fit. Let me know. Like, is it better just to be that efficient with it?
Yes.
Okay, good.
And then, you know, it's also really helpful when someone has taken the time to look at my articles and they perhaps mention it. That just kind of stands out to me as an editor, like, oh, they read my, you know, maybe it's just an ego thing. And I'm like, oh, cool, they read my story. But, you know, it just shows that they've taken the time to at least familiarize themselves with what I actually cover. And it also just kind of makes it a nice dialogue. It's conversational. And then whenever it's conversational, I feel like, oh, I've talked to that person before. And it kind of, that person stands out in my inbox more. Yeah.
Conversational.
And then if they mention my cat Spencer, I'm always going to reply if you know my cat Spencer.
Nice.
I'm not saying all publicists need to do this, but it is probably would make sense to stalk some journalists on Instagram. I feel like that's helpful.
I really think it is. Good. Okay. And then Mia, you brought up your inbox. So how is it in there? You've been at the Daily Beast as a commerce editor for last year in 2021. So maybe it's not volcano-ish yet, but how is it pitch-wise in there?
It's volcano-ish already.
Oh.
You know, I was at Penske Media at Stylecaster before, and so I'm working with a lot of the same publicists who, you know, were aware that I moved over to the Daily Beast. So they just found my email, and I think I sent my email out to some people as well. So it is already pretty hefty. And then I will say a lot of like really good pitches from people that I don't consider spam go into spam. And
really?
Yeah. And I don't know if people know this, but some publishers, so IAC, who owns the Daily Beast and a few other companies, they have this filter system where they filter out the spam for you, and they basically will send you an email, and if you don't catch the email with all of the spam, you don't really get to see who's emailed you. So they basically aggregate everything that I guess the algorithm reads as spam, even when it in fact is not. They send you an email every week, which I often miss, of all of the things that they think are spam. So
then you have to go through that list to go through it and be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I do feel like I missed some good pitches in there, but I feel like that's worth mentioning because I think sometimes editors and journalists aren't trying to ignore. Sometimes they just are
because they're not. Yeah. The thing is, though, is like, what do you do? as a
I
public,
know.
like, you know what I mean? Like what, I guess you go to some other platform. Like, I guess I could DM you. I guess I could, put you some, find another means that is not email, but that seems like a pain in the butt.
Yeah. And it doesn't happen that often. So it's not like, a glaring problem that, needs to be huge concern. But I do think it's worth mentioning that happens to me at least. So, yeah.
Okay. That's good to know. Okay.
But I personally don't mind if publicists DM me, but a lot of editors do not like that.
That's right.
I just personally don't mind it.
There's quite a variety too out there. There's some who are like, oh yeah, heck yeah, send it to me. And then there's like, oh, I didn't ever want to hear. It's really interesting. And I've now had so many people on here that it's a wide range, I can confirm. So that's interesting. Okay. Now, real quick, just because you are the commerce editor, for publicists, they need to probably know from their client, hey, client, this is a referral. This is a referral link type of program. Do they need to know, what should the client message be, I guess, especially if it's a publicist who's like, oh, referral links, like I'm not familiar, affiliate, what are we talking about? What would you say, just so that's cleared up?
Yeah, that's so interesting. So when I first started, at Penske, I was at their dedicated commerce site, spy.com, and this was like 5 years ago. And no one knew, very few publicists knew what affiliate programs were, what affiliate links and affiliate marketing was for editorial in general. And it was so difficult to try to explain that to people, even though I have no problem doing that. I have a lot of publicist friends that are like, can you just tell me what the heck this is? And I'm like, sure, it is really confusing. But I will say now, that affiliate links are kind of the norm now.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah, publicists usually will in their email say, okay, this is this brand and they're partnered with Skimlink, CJ, and blah, blah, blah. So they'll just go ahead and list out whatever affiliate networks the brand is partnered on. So that makes it really helpful. Another thing that I also tell some publicist friends, Amazon, at least for a lot of publishers and editors that I know, Amazon is not bad. They have a lot of great incentives for publishers. So I think sometimes publicists are a little bit shy to say, well, it is on Amazon, because it has a connotation like,
it's bad.
Right. But from an affiliate perspective, it's not bad. In fact, I like to know if something's on Amazon in addition to the direct to consumer website.
Okay. So disclose that. Make sure you're saying that. Okay.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, you could easily, I'm sure you like Google everything to go, oh, wait a second. Can I get it on Amazon? Okay. So it's not so just so you're letting everyone know, like, hey, if that client is sold on Amazon, that doesn't mean you can't be on the Daily Beast.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. That's good. That's good for people to know. Okay. Excellent. Mia, what do you feel, I was going to ask you about the exclusives or embargoes, but that kind of doesn't pertain here because I'm sure you're not doing an exclusive on a new lash builder or something that just hit the market. So we won't go into that. But how does one, if at all, make a relationship with you these days?
Honestly, I still really like when people make an effort to get to know me. We're kind of in yet another new normal, I guess, where I have gone on some in-person IRL coffee meetups, and I've also still continued to do some just Zoom virtual coffee dates with publicists. And I hate to say it, but really just having like even just 15, 20 minutes of FaceTime, even if it's virtually with a publicist, it really helps me like, oh, when I see their name in the inbox, I want to make sure that I get back to them because I've already invested time. They've invested time. And it's not like, ooh, they really reached out, so I better. It's more of like a subconscious thing. But, anytime there's like a friendly meetup or even just when someone, like I said, takes the time to like read an article and put that in there, that just really helps them stand out for me, and the emails stand out in the inbox when I see them.
Okay.
Today's interview will continue after this brief message brought to you by OnePitch. Are you curious to see the unique ways OnePitch helps PR professionals and marketers pitch journalists? Head to onepitch.co to learn about our new OnePitch score and see how easy it is to find the right journalist to pitch your news to. Sign up for your free account today. Now, back to today's episode.
So you're open to coffees?
Yes.
This can happen. Okay. They got to find you in Austin, hopefully. Do you at all frequent New York? Do you go back to LA? Are you like doing that type of stuff?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So
That's good to
we
know.
just hired a new staff writer. So I will be probably going back to New York at least once a quarter. And then I go back to LA about every month. Yeah. When I'm back there, I try to do as many in-person, brand events and meetups with publicists and things like that as possible. Because obviously there isn't as many here in Austin as there are in Los Angeles and New York. So,
perfect.
Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know. Okay. Mia, I have a little fill in the blank part here. So let's see what we get with the answers. And you can answer them as quickly or as long as you wish. Here we go. My favorite sources always.
Like other publications that I go to for inspiration?
Or just people who like give you good stuff, anything you want.
Well, I love Birdie. My favorite writer, well, she's actually an editor, but she writes a lot. Her name is Hallie Gould. She is such a fabulous writer, and I just personally love her work. We are doing a lot more beauty now, so it's great research.
Oh, so you use her as like a source for just your content and things.
Yes. And I learned so much from her too.
Okay. You'll never get a response from me if
you ask me what you're working on.
Yep. You can follow up with me if
you can follow up with me if we've already had a conversation and I haven't responded in a week. And you can follow up with me on DM. I actually appreciate that.
Okay. The appropriate amount of lead time for a story is?
Ooh, that depends. Gosh, that really depends.
I guess maybe what's the shortest and what's the longest in your range? How about that?
So by lead, you mean like, when we've agreed upon like, okay, I'll cover this. And
yeah, I'm going to cover this wonderful face cream thing that you do so well. And how long then from that initial pitch to the piece posting?
Okay, so I know this is a fill in the blank, but I feel like there's more of a longer explanation.
Okay,
I just had this conversation with another journalist who freelances for the Daily Beast. What we were talking about was sometimes you go to an event or you get a sample of a product and you're like, this is great. There's nothing in the works that it's really a fit for. And then sometimes literally a year later, you'll still remember that, or you'll remember, a pitch, and then you'll go back and do that. So, short answer, I would say, a year, it could be that long.
Okay.
But usually a week, a month. I think it's fine for publicists to follow up and ask for a run date as long as you're not too pushy.
Good.
Things obviously get moved around a lot, but
that's kind of out of your control to some extent.
Yeah, definitely.
So, little sidebar here. You mentioned that you look back at something, oh my gosh, it's been 12 months ago or 11 months ago, I met that person for coffee and now I can work with this thing. So do you use your inbox as your own personal search file? So you're like, let me pull up concealer and see what that was.
Yes, that's exactly what I do.
Excellent to know. So then therefore, you never delete a pitch.
No.
There you go. Okay. This is good to know, everybody, because your pitch could be resurrected 8 months later. You never know.
And that's exactly why I don't delete any pitches, because I really rely on my inbox for that, because my memory is pretty faulty, to be completely honest.
Yep.
And, I try to stay on top of things with like folders in my inbox, to respond for
you
later.
Do folders. Okay.
That's good to know. But at the end of the day, I always just end up searching for it because I'm not as diligent with managing those folders as I should be. But I never delete.
It's hard to keep it going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never delete a pitch. That's good. Okay. My favorite stories to write about are?
Ooh, that's a good one. I don't get to do a ton of this, but travel writing is my favorite writing.
Oh, me too. That's what I do for Forbes. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So
just
cool.
as a little dorky contributor. No one get excited. Yeah. Just,
going
around.
I was not excited. I'm going to have to check that out when we talk.
Check it out. Oh, it's so fun.
My passion and favorite thing to write about is like themed hotels, quirky roadside destinations, and just, fun places like that. I got to do a little bit of that. I convinced my editors at Stylecaster and Spy.com because there was some affiliate link on hotels. So I was able to
Perfect.
convince them, and there's some good search juice in those arenas.
Yes.
So I was able to convince them, but that's my favorite thing to write about.
I like that. Search juice.
Yes. And
Okay.
I am obsessed with SEO. So
Yes. Okay. The best compliment I received about my work was?
Oh gosh, one of my former bosses said something like, you have a rare ability to be analytical, but also creative in your work. I think she was saying my research and my love of analytics and consumer behavior was not overshadowed by my editorial prowess, I guess. That meant a lot to me to hear that she thought I excelled at both.
Nice. It's always good to hear good stuff about your work. Okay, Mia, is there anything you are reading, watching, listening to, podcast-wise, Netflix-wise? Frankly, we'll take anything that you love and would like to mention.
Sure. I haven't been listening to too many podcasts. I need to get back on that. So if you have any suggestions, I will take them.
Okay.
But I binged The Dropout.
How was it? I've only listened to the ABC podcast and I was like enthralled.
It's so good. It's so good.
Okay.
And then, the Hulu show with Amanda Seyfried.
Yes.
Her acting is just phenomenal. I mean, just the way she nails Elizabeth Holmes' facial expressions, her kind of strange voice, really quite uncanny.
Sold. Okay, sold. I'm going to do it.
And then Severance.
Severance? What's that one?
Yes. That one is a new one on Apple TV. It's a show.
I saw that somewhere. Yeah. What? Oh, I saw it. It's a thriller. Yeah, and it's sci-fi.
It's a thriller, sci-fi. It's kind of like...
Okay. Tell us more.
So good. It's got like a little sprinkle of Black Mirror in it too. I mean, it's
done.
It is very well done. Even just like aesthetically, it kind of has
dark and eerie. Perfect.
Yeah, it's kind of got like Star Trek vibes. I mean, whoever was in charge of the visuals must have been a colorist because I studied art history, so I really pay attention to that stuff. But regardless of that, the story, the writing, everything was just really phenomenal. I highly recommend it.
Okay. Severance on Apple. Okay. Apple TV. I'm writing it down. Okay. Great. You know one that I listen to? Here's a podcast plug.
Okay.
Twin Flames.
Twin
Flames. Yeah. If you're into cultish weird shit, it is just amazing what people will believe and how they track down a romantic interest that clearly is not interested and what all happens from it. Oh my God, you're going to love it.
Okay, I just wrote that down.
I listened to it with my friend driving around Jamaica where we just were. So we were like, fun. What is happening? Oh, yeah. I think you'll like it.
I'm going to check that out today.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of cults, then I'm listening to on Audible, The Cult of We.
Okay.
And that is just about WeWorks and how disgusting that all is.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I've heard that.
Written by journalist friends, Elliot Brown and Maureen Farlow.
Okay.
And, at first I was like, I already know what this is about because I'm in the space and da-da-da.
Right.
But no. You just don't know how absurd it is. And it is, they're both from Wall Street Journal. It just, fantastic.
Awesome.
Yes. Deeply researched. So those are my plugs for this week.
Okay. All right.
I love
get
it.
on checking those out.
Speaking of journalism, Miss Mia, and journalists writing books now, that's like the new thing-ish.
Right.
What do you think is the future of journalism?
Well, I don't think, I mean, it's so interesting because from a commerce perspective, I've just seen it completely within the last couple of years dominate a lot of the space. Just half of the jobs in, the service journalism industry are commerce editor, commerce writers. So commerce is really going to be big, but I don't think of that as hard journalism. And I can tell you what I would like to see.
What would you like to see?
I don't think that commerce writing and commerce journalism needs to be, TK things to buy on Amazon or just, straight product reviews. What I like is a little bit of both. I like some reporting. I like some background information. I want to learn something. I don't just want to see like thrown on a page for me to buy. And I think that there's kind of a division right now where, obviously the objective is to make money off of these affiliate links. Before, the industry was making money by ads in both print and digital. And now there's this new opportunity to make money that publishers and outlets are catching on to. But I think, honestly, Rolling Stone does such a great job, and you wouldn't even know that it was commerce content. I mean, you do, because of course there's disclaimers.
It's disclosure, yeah.
But what I mean by you wouldn't know is it's just so thoughtfully written, and it's just an enjoyable read. And then if you feel like buying something that they recommend at the end, you can. They don't favor one or the other. So I think they do such a great job, and I kind of aspire to kind of keep that alive. I love a long form piece. I love an informative piece. I also like the fun sort of mindless, like, these are the crazy. We have this series, the craziest shit we found on Amazon.
On Amazon, I saw that the last batch. My God.
Yeah. I love doing that stuff, but there's something to be said about, really learning something from it. And, I still like to use sources. I still like to use dermatologists commenting in my pieces. I want people to, at the end of the day, still enjoy reading my work and hopefully learn something in addition to, maybe buying something that I recommend. I hope that that's kind of retained as commerce and affiliate marketing continues to be immersed in journalism in new ways. So that's
I think it can evolve. I think it can evolve. By the way, do people pitch you for the Amazon article, or do you just all find that yourself with the team?
Oh no, that's everything I found. My
God!
Yeah, we don't accept pitches for those because it's just really it's honestly
it's just absurd stuff.
So much fun to research that and just to look. And because I'm researching products and I'm on Amazon all the time, I kind of just keep a list.
I see. You just file. Yep.
Yeah, because I see it in the wild, man. It's just there, and I'm like, from that piece. Honestly, well, it was a little bit topical too, so it was interesting. But the top selling product from that was this little shrimp Putin magnet.
I saw that.
Face on it. People bought that. A lot of I don't know why. I mean, I don't know, but hundreds of people bought that from the story, and I'm just, I don't know.
Oh, and they bought it from your link. They were like, hold up, I need that.
Yeah, I mean, that does well, and maybe this isn't a surprise given the Daily Beast audience, but the Trump toilet paper was a huge
that I'm sure. Massive hit. Massive hit.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You never know. You never know. Wow. Mia, thank you for being here today. This has been illuminating and wonderful.
Thank you for
Check out Mia's stuff, man. These are fun articles and great titles. It's definitely making me, I got to be careful because you're looking at stuff, you're like, well, yes, I need that. Oh my God. Oh, it's been great, Mia. Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Coffee with the Journalist featuring Mia Maguire from the Daily Beast. If you enjoy listening to our show, make sure to subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and anywhere else you listen to podcasts. And if you have a moment, please leave us a review to share your thoughts about the show and today's guest. To learn more about the latest tools on OnePitch and to subscribe to our weekly podcast newsletter, head to our website at onepitch.co. We'll see you all next week with a brand new guest and even more insights about the journalists you want to learn more about. Until then, start great stories.